That's what people are doing this week, folks. That's what's happening this week. People are down. They are praying. They are hoping for their playoff lives. And folks, welcome to week 13 of Todd's 10. I am your host, Todd Berman Jr. I got the slick back hair because the season has breezed by me and has brushed my hair back. It has slicked it back. Crazy things happening for this football season. Excited to be here. Excited to be back, folks. Excited to be previewing week 13 playoff spots on the line. Fates determined. There could be murder. There could be death. There could be birth. There could be rebirth. There could be playoff spots clinched and playoff spots lost. We're going to find all out about that this week. Ingram's League, one of the best in the nation, in the country, in the world. This is a great fantasy league, and it's great to be here again. I am your host, Todd Berman Jr. Let's get right into it. We're going to call this the Week 13 Preview Extravaganza. It's early in the morning here, folks, so I'm going to have to get a little caffeine, get a little boost, get a little jump, get a little hyper, a little jitters, a little going at it. That's what Todd Berman does. You see how you can keep the foot up in the air there. Hope you're enjoying yourselves this Saturday morning. Hope you have a good weekend. Have a good holiday, good Thanksgiving. Stay safe, stay healthy. Not even to discuss the power rankings this week because the power rankings don't matter anymore. What matters is a victory in Week 13 to clinch your team's playoff spot. We're going to get right into the matchups, folks. That's right. There's a couple matchups we're going to breeze through. We have a couple seeding matchups coming up. We have a couple matchups that really deal with teams that don't really matter. And this first game is with a team that doesn't really matter. That's right. Teams suck, folks. Brett Kohler's team, a team that was so once full of promise, had a four-headed monsters and then, you know how they say 2 heads is better than 1? 4 heads is better than 2. That's common math. It's arithmetic. It's basic math. Mr. Cohen, F you. I should have done better in 9th grade geometry. Anyways, Todd Berman Jr. Team suck 4-8. Going against Return of the Walrus, the top seed, a champion, perennial contender. Let's see how this matchup is going to play out. We're going to go through it real quick, like I said. Not going to waste a lot of time. I'm going to apologize to Goldman this week. Your team is stacked. Enjoy getting a bye in the first round of the playoffs. Let's look at the quarterback position here. Advantage Goldman. Running back position here. Advantage Goldman. Wide receiver position. Advantage Goldman. Tight end position. Advantage Goldman. Didn't see that one coming there, did you, folks? Goldman has a great squad. Return of the Walrus, Cuckoo Kajuk, John Lennon, getting those vibes. 1980. Wow, what a year. Good year. 40 years since he passed. Miss you, buddy. Anyways, looking at the defenses here, the only advantage Kohler has is not here. Again, advantage Goldman here with the defense. Kicker, advantage Goldman. Team sucks. He's just trying to avoid a beer mile at this point. He's really banking on the Cow to Chicago losing the game, hopefully putting up a decent amount of points to keep up that points for advantage that he currently has. Not a bad team. Could have been a great team. Could have been the best team. Didn't turn out for Brett Kohler this year. The guy's a good drafter. He'll be back this year. Congratulations. Return of the Walrus, 10-3. Nice regular season. Looking at the matchups here, we're going on to the Super Spreader versus the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, what I believe is a seeding game. If I did the mathematics correct, this is a seeding game. The Spreader, second year in his league, Shane Wormuth, Shano, the man, the myth, the legend, the Coors Light downing son of a... I don't want to swear too much in case kids are watching, but you know what I was going to say there. The was like Joe Pesci in Home Alone. But that's what it was equivalent to right there. Super Spreader getting into the playoffs his second year in the league. That's astonishing. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Cameron Herman, always a good team, always a good owner. Knows what he's talking about, knows what he's doing. Let's look at the matchup here. Let's see who's going to get the higher seed. Looking at the quarterback position here, Patrick Mahomes going against Denver. Going to have a nice day on Sunday night. Going against Ben Roethlisberger with a class at 2 p.m. That's Coast PST time. 4 p.m. for Central Standard Time, which I think most of you are currently living in. Ben Roethlisberger going against Washington, who's got pretty stingy defense, actually. Good defensive line. I'm actually picking Washington to win that game to at least cover the spread. Steelers go down. Patrick Mahomes, Advano, Shano, Spreader. Looking at the running back position, Dalvin Cook prime for a big day against Jacksonville. He's also got Antonio Gibson, who is hot. Going against what is a good Steelers defense, though, so let's see what Cameron is counteracting with. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, hit or miss this season. Chris Carson, hit or miss this season. Depending on how that ankle holds up, his twig is bare. That's not his ankle. But anyways, you know what I'm talking about. Chris Carson. I'm going to give the advantage here to Shane. I think Cook is just primed for such a big day. That Jacksonville defense is bad. Vikings offense is thriving. We'll see how they play. They go week to week. Not a great squad. That's what you call a 360 turn there, folks. And what it is not doing a 360 is Shano's wide receiver room, because it's been great all year. Michael Thomas starting to really thrive in that New Orleans offense. Marquise Brown had a big breakthrough day last week, big touchdown. I'm going to give the advantage, though, the wide receiver position here without even previewing to Cam. He's got Rob Woods. He's got Robinson. He's got Goddard and Deontay Johnson. That's a good room. This is where Cameron's going to win the game. It's not going to be the running back position. It's not going to be the quarterback position. It's going to be wide receiver, tight end, and flex. That's what it's going to be. Those four are going to have to counteract Shano's three so far at Bamrich Cameron. Looking at the matchup here, Browns defense going against Tennessee. Not a great matchup for Shano. Ravens defense going against Dallas. We'll see what the Ravens defense does. They're pretty good against the Steelers this week. Short week, though. Short week of prep for them. Going up against Dallas, the Red Rocket, Andy Dalton. That thing blasting off to Mars, to Venus. All those planets that have red associated with them. Also Jupiter, the big red spot. As we all know, that is like a big hurricane. Twirling, twirling, twirling. It's going to be a hurricane season for Cameron Herman. Advantage to him. Look at the projections, though. 115.5 for Shano, 111.8 for Cameron. And I'm going to lead towards Cameron here because he's got Koo here at the kicker position, better than Zane Gallus. I'm giving the advantage to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. As good of a Cinderella story as the super spreader has been this year, he's banking too much on Mahomes, he's banking too much on Cook. Cameron's banking up on a solid squad top to bottom. Sometimes that wins, sometimes he loses, but this week I think it's going to be a win for Cameron Herman. Looking at the matchups here, what is probably the matchup 1B of the week in my opinion. That's right, folks. Sprunk football team versus my personal favorite, Todd Kuiper's personal favorite team. Listen to the team name, listen to the team name suggestion from Todd. That gets you a lot of brownie points. Brownies, one of the primetime desserts, chocolate chip cookies, M&M cookies, both good. Brownies on the top of all those, especially mixing a little peanut butter in there. Get a little crazy with it. This is not what he does because he's a Swiss cheese matrix. Brownie points to him. Projections 113.6 for Sprunk football team, 103.5 for the Swiss cheese matrix. Not looking good for the matrix. I'm going to tell you why. Josh Allen going against the San Francisco defense, who looked good last week against Los Angeles Rams. Josh Allen, though, having a great year. Aaron Rodgers having a better year. I actually going to give the advantage there to Swiss cheese matrix. That's right, folks. This is the battle for playoff position. Sprunk loses, probably out, depending on what happens in the other games. Swiss cheese matrix wins, probably in, depending on what happens on the other games. Whoa, 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 whoa. It's like a pinball sheet, back and forth, hitting the buttons. Boop, 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 boop. Let's see where the buttons go with the running back position. Devontae Booker for Las Vegas. Wayne Gallman. Not a sexy name list right there, but projected to do pretty well for the Sprunk football team. Also not a great running back position for the Swiss cheese matrix. Damian Harris and Frank Gore. Frank Gore surging of late. Not great, though. Damian Harris, hit or miss for New England. Let's see how they do against the Chargers defense. I'm going to give the advantage there again to Sprunk. Looking at the wide receiver room, this is where this is actually where we got to battle. This is where we got to battle. Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, Jordan Reed, Calvin Ridley for Sprunk. Ridley been down and out recently, hurting Sprunk's chances, but you can't bank against Devontae. He's going to have a big day against what is a suspect Philadelphia secondary. Darius Slay got slayed last week, not in the holiday spirit. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Devontae Adams, I think he's going to have a big day. Look at the wide receiver in flex position for Tom Hummel, though. Terry McLaurin, Tyler Lockett, Evan Ingram, and J.K. Downs. I would say, as of late, this is the better room. And guess what? I'm not going to give the advantage, though. I think Devontae Adams is going to have a huge day. Stephon Diggs going against San Francisco. Down a few quarterbacks. Team ravaged by injuries this season. Advantage Sprunk. Looking at the matchups here. Colts defense going against Houston. Vikings defense going against Jacksonville. That's a definite advantage there for Hummel. Got to go with Tucker as the kicker. Always the best kicker in the league against Carlson. This is a tough one for me. And Sprunk, I like you, man. But I'm going Swiss cheese matrix with the upset, folks. I think Rodgers has a big day. He gets enough consistency from the running back position, enough consistency from the tight ends, wide receivers. Ingram primed for another big day. Really thrived recently. Let's see how he does without Daniel Jones. I'm not sure if he's playing ribs, dinged up, doom, boom, boom, bada bing, bada boom. Evan Ingram, Swiss cheese matrix, potentially making the playoffs, hoping for a big day for him. Tom Hummel, congratulations. Great game change, brownie points. That's what it gets you. It gets you a predicted victory. Now moving on to the matchup. This matchup has a lot of other implications. Trump train coming up a huge surge here at the end of the season. Currently on a 3-game winning streak. Keeps playoff hopes alive. Count of Chicago. That's right. Count the Admiral, Lieutenant, the General, the whatever you want to call him, of Chicago. Mark Flower trying to avoid a second straight last place finish. You know what that gets you? That gets you a beer mile. Mark Flower, if you lose, let's see if you're going to lose this week. Looking at the projections. 111.4 for the Trump train, 105.5 for Count of Chicago. Not looking good. I'm going to tell you why. Deshaun Watson going up against Indianapolis. I will text my dad back later. Deshaun Watson going up against Indianapolis, 20.7. Ryan Tannehill going up against Cleveland. Cleveland a pretty good defense. Going to give an advantage to Watson there. He's an otherworld kind of talent. Now looking at the running back position, what a room here for the David Kolb, Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb going against Austin Eckler, David Montgomery. Eckler back, running, going at it, doing well. thriving, doing well. Oh man, I almost thought the computer lost the screen here. This has been such a good presentation, folks. That would have been bad. That would have been ugly. That would have been bad, good, the bad, and the ugly. Clint Eastwood, 1970s, 80s. He's an old guy. That's what he's in his 80s. But what's not in his 80s is going to be this game. It's going to be a high-scoring matchup. Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb advantage there to Colt. Montgomery, don't like his matchup against Detroit. I think they're going to be thriving with a new head coach. It tends to be the little interim coach, one-game bump. I think that's going to happen to Detroit, and I think advantage here to Colt. Look at the wide receiver position here. Adam Thielen, Sterling Shepard, Austin Hooper, Hunter Renfrow. Up against Chase Claypool, Cooper Kupp, T.J. Hockenson, and T.Y. Hilton, who finally got his first touchdown of the season last game. You know, as far as consistency goes, you have to go with David Colt's team. Adam Thielen going to be back off the COVID list, going to drive against what is a terrible Jacksonville second. They're trying to lose. They're trying to tank for Trevor. They're trying to just throw it away the season for Justin. That's what they're trying to do. I couldn't think of a better analogy there, an alliteration, something to tie in with Justin. If anybody thinks of it, message me. Google Meet me. We'll have a little video conference, Zoom me. We'll figure it out next week. I'll work it in if you guys want me to do a playoff edition. Hockenson, though, really thriving for Detroit. I think that's where the count has a big advantage. Gotta like Renfrow matchup against the Jets. Looking at the defenses here, Seattle defense going against the New York Giants. We're using a backup quarterback. Saints defense going against Atlanta. Atlanta's been thriving with Raheem Morris as the coach. 4-2 with him. Matt Ryan chucking, ducking. Calvin Ridley. He's got freaking Hayden Hurst. He's got Julio Jones. Jesus, it's early in the morning, folks. Looking at it here, Marvin Bagley, Chris Boswell. Give the advantage to Bagley, give the advantage to David Colt. I think he could sneak into the playoffs, folks. This is a good team, led behind Henry. Henry always thrives from week 9 on. Colt is seeing those dividends being paid off. Chubb is back off the IR. He's thriving, good team. David Colt wins. Counter Chicago if he doesn't put up enough points. Because we already predicted that Kohler's going to be at 4-9 as well. He doesn't put up enough points. Beer Mile in his future. Beer Mile for one of the two. Either way, we'll accept with pride, with glory. That's what you do. Fantasy Football League, it's all about the glory. There's almost something as glorious to me as last place as there is first place. That's a motivational speech for us both. Mark Flower. Now looking at this matchup here, look at Deuce Coops going against Slater and Goldman. Deuce Coops trying to hold on for the playoff lines, predicted at 103.6. 108.2 for Slater and Goldman, who's looking to get a bye in the first round. Looking at the matchup here, Lamar Jackson back off the COVID list, going up against Dallas. Like that matchup on a Tuesday. We got a little Tuesday football special for you. Jared Goff, hit or miss, definitely advantage Lamar Jackson. Looking at the running back room, Aaron Jones going here for Michael Zimmerman, Gus Edwards going against Jonathan Taylor, Duke Johnson. I like Aaron Jones' matchup against Philadelphia. Despite what is a pretty good defensive line there, I think the Packers are going to put up a lot of points. Gus Edwards getting a lot of action in the backfield there. Overall consistency, probably better for Slater and Goldman. So actually I'm going to change my pick here. I'm going to give the advantage to Slater and Goldman in the running back room. Taylor's really thriving recently in the Indianapolis offense. Looking at the rest of the team here, Tyreek Hill, Keenan Allen, Mike Gesicki, Henry Ruggs III. Going against Devontae Parker, Justin Jefferson, Travis Kelce, and Deebo Samuel. Advantage here to Slater and Goldman. That's right, Jordan Mallon's team named after two former friends of his or current friends of his. Not sure what the status is. Haven't seen it on Facebook, Top 8, MySpace, all that kind of stuff. Recently dropped out. Things are getting crazy, but what's not crazy is how good of a wide receiver this room. In particular, if Devontae Parker is connecting with the beard, that's right, I'm changing the beard nickname from James Harden to Ryan Fitzpatrick. That's what I do. That's what I have the power to do. Todd Berman Jr. Advantage here to Slater and Goldman. Wow, Parker, Fitzpatrick really connecting. Jefferson looking good. Kelce looking great. Deebo Samuel now thriving, healthy, back. Looking at defenses here. Bears defense going against Detroit. Packers defense going against Philly. The turnover machine that is Carson Wentz will feed this victory for Jordan Mallon. That's an advantage there to Mallon. Looking at it here. Kicker, butt kicker going against Prater. Got to give the advantage to butt kicker. I'm going to give the advantage to Jordan Mallon. Sticking with projections. Mallon gets by in the first round. Depending on what other happens, Little Deuce Coops, the highest scoring team in the league, could be out of the playoffs. A damn travesty, folks. A damn travesty. Now looking at the rest of the matchups here, that's right, folks, you've waited for it. You've known it's coming. The rest of you have probably already turned off this broadcast, but there's two people still left on this broadcast, and they're here for the matchup of the week, folks. That's right, folks. We have Hail Murray, Crane, fighting for his life. Hungry Ducks run faster, been running fast towards the playoff spot despite an illegal name, despite all this cheating, despite his collusion. The commissioner, Dan Ingram, is still alive for a playoff spot, and this is a matchup that's projected to be like only a 0.8 point difference. Let's find out why. Kyler Murray at the quarterback position for Dylan Crane. Russell Wilson at the quarterback position for New York Giants. The only thing that could hurt Russell this week is if they get up too early, too fast, too quick, and he doesn't have, they just run the ball. Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. I'm going to give advantage to Kyler there, a little dinged up. Hopefully that shoulder's good for Crane. If not, that's bad news Bears. Looking at the running back position, Ezekiel Elliott, Naeem Hines for Dylan Crane, Kenyon Drake, Giovanni Bernard, and for Hungry Dogs, that's right, Dan Ingram's team. Really torn here. Zeke has been hit or miss. Baltimore defense is pretty good. Naeem Hines hit or miss. I like the consistency here from Dan Ingram's team. Drake, Bernard, PPR league, huge advantage. Ingram, nice advantage so far for him. Looking at the wide receiver position, DeAndre Hopkins, Brandon Cooks, Kyle Rudolph, Juju Smith-Schuster. That's right, hoping to work a little Juju here, aren't you, Crane? With Juju in your lineup this week. Going up against DK Metcalf, T. Higgins, Hayden Hurst, and Brandon Ayuk. Ayuk off the COVID list, looking to thrive, looking to make his season look good. Trying to get the 49ers back in playoff contention. Still in the hunt, the 49ers for the NFC West. And what is in the hunt is this wide receiver room for Dylan Crane. Love the Hopkins matchup against the Rams, although he will be shadowed against Jalen Ramsey. I actually don't love that matchup. Love the matchup better for DK over here. For the New York Giants, what is a good New York defense, Giants defense with James Bradbury? Both will be shadowed, I'm sure, all day. Cooks versus Higgins. Cooks. I'm going to give the advantage here to Hayden Hurst at the tight end position, despite the projection for Kyle Rudolph. But I do think Juju has a good day. I'm going to give the advantage here to Crane. More proven assets at that position. DK probably primed for a big day. Going to have to carry that wide receiver and tight end room for Dan Ingram. Looking at the defenses here. Chargers defense going against New England. Rams defense going against Arizona. Definite advantage there for the Chargers defense. Looking at the kickers here, you got Goggles going against Will West. I can't go against my guy Goggles, Blankenship. And I can't go against Dylan Crane this week. I think he might sneak into the playoffs folks, with the victory this week. Sorry, Dan Ingram. Collusion, cheating, it doesn't get you anywhere. But looking at it here, best man. Anyways, looking at it here, folks, that's your playoff projections. You do the math of projections. I just pick the winners. I preview the matchups. That's what I do, folks. This is Todd's 10. I am your host, Todd Kuiper Berman Jr. Enjoy Week 13, the extravaganza that it is. Been a great season, everybody. If you want me back for the playoffs, let me know. We'll certainly do that. But it's been a wonderful regular season. Thank you for watching Todd's 10. And again, I am Todd Kuiper Berman Jr.